Hello, my name is James. I'm a portrait photographer from Portsmouth in the UK. Welcome to my studio. This is Nina Samuels. We're going to be taking you behind the scenes today of one of our shoots. We're going to be shooting for a Halloween style picture. You can tell from the spider. We had a spider at the start. I'm just going to take you through the lighting, how we set up the lights and how we build up a shot to eventually get to hopefully a really nice Halloween themed shot. You ready to go?
Ready.
Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to start off. I'm going to build my setup with a single light. I've put a big softbox on my Elinchrom D-Light RX4 at the top here. Really simple light, and we've just got it nice and above. It's almost like a butterfly beauty lighting here. And we're going to ask Nina just to come 3 steps forward and just stand there for me. Look at that. That was interesting the way I did that. Getting people to pose in studio is sometimes something that a lot of people ask, how do I do it? What are your thoughts on posing?
I enjoy it.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy it, especially when you direct me, especially I find it easier because sometimes once you get in the flow of it, it's definitely easier. But at the beginning, when you have a bit of direction, like it definitely helps a lot.
Giving your models, your customers, whoever you're working with, direction in terms of specific places to stand is vital to that, I think, in terms of like getting people to in the right position. So we're just going to say to Nina, stand right there for me, right on the floor. Perfect. So she's in exactly the right position. This light, we can see from the modeling light, is coming down from very, very high up. Very sort of intimidating light source there, but also beautiful light source. The way it's coming straight down should give us an interesting portrait. We've measured this light out, so we should be shooting at around about ISO 100, 160th of a second to sync up, and f8. Nice and simple for this shot here. I'm just going to ask you just to dangle the spider to the side there for me if you can, off its little web. Its little web is a little bit of nylon fishing wire, and you're going to turn your eyes and just look towards it if we can, just like that for me. You know, 3, 2, 1, go, and relax. Let's have a look, see how that one's turning out there. Perfect. Let's take that one again for me if we can. Slightly overexposed there, so all we need to do, I can roughly tell there we're overexposed by about a stop. I'm just going to bring the light down there by a stop, and I'm going to take a flash before I take the next shot just to release all of the power in that light so that we know the next shot we've got should be within range there. Beautiful little shot there just to begin with. Simple one light setup showing off the amazing figure and the amazing wardrobe and the prop there all in one shot, nice and simple. With this setup, we know that we've got a range here to work with that's, you know, a reasonable amount of distance. We can't move too far either side, so otherwise we'll move into the fall off of the light. But what we can do while we're here is we can get Nina to look at the spider. Once we're dangled up, untangle it. Tangled up fishing wire, terrible. There we go, untangle it, make some reactions towards it. One more, really scared. Bring it nice and close to you. Looking towards me. 3, 2, 1, go! Very good indeed. And a real selection of different character images there with the spider dangling across. Get yourself a model who makes really, really good facial expressions like that. And that's what I would recommend there. Really interesting shots. But not too Halloween themed in terms of the colours of that shot, really. We're shooting on a dark blue background there. It's quite low-key, it's quite dark. That's reasonably horror and Halloween themed. But really, if we want to shoot a Halloween-style shot, we're going to be looking to work with colours like orange. Burnt orange is a very, very sort of Halloween-y colour. So what we're going to do here is we're going to employ a background light here. It's, again, an Elinchrom light here with an orange gel over the top of it, over the top of the reflector cap. And what that orange gel is going to do is that all the light coming out of it is going to come out as an orange hue. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it so it's pointing straight towards the back of Nina there. So what we should get is a nice halo rim of orange light around Nina. It's around about a stop or 2. I'd say 2 stops we're going to put it in actually. 2 stops underexposed from our main light, and that's okay because it's shooting towards us and it's largely being blocked, and we should just get the fringes. We don't want it too overpowering. Let's see how it looks. We've got our main light again, exactly the same place. Hold that there. Main light exactly the same place, just looking straight towards me with sort of like a sinister sort of sneer smile there for me. 3, 2, 1. Let's see how that orange gel has affected the shot here. Look at that. Now we've got burnt orange hue coming through the shot there. And back there. Although we can see the fishing wire in the shot, we'll be able to get rid of that in post pretty simply. use the remove tool in Photoshop, things like that. So that's a nice and simple way to do that. And because we again have lights there, we can't move too much again because we've got the background light right behind Nina. But what we can do is we can still play with the expressions and play with our focal lengths and get closer. Without moving our model, we can still dangle the spider up there. Sinister, shocked, shocked. There we go. Look at the spider, look back towards me. 3, 2, 1, go, and lovely. So a real range of expressions there, which make a nice sort of storyboard for something a little bit different. But without having to move any lights or worry about everything, we know that everything's in the right place. But what if we want to go even more orange on this shot? Well, let's see what we can do here by turning this light. If we come over to our light at the back here, remember we're only going to be using a 2-light setup here today, and just by turning it 180 degrees so that it hits the background. What I'm going to do for this shot is I'm actually going to turn my main light here, my key light, which is on the big bayonet here. We're just going to turn this light off just for this shot. So we're just going to bring it down here, turn that off. That's no longer a part of this shot. And we're just going to see how that orange gel on the background, because it's a blue background, we're going to see how it affects the background color. So we're going to ask Nina just to come to the side here for me, come right off the background, and we're just going to take a shot of that orange gel against the background there. And what we've got there is a really, really dark hue of orange, really nice, falling off into black vignette. It's a bit too dark, so all I'm going to do is if we come in here, we can see that we're currently on 2.0 on the power. Remember, this is a decimal power pack. It's going to work from 2.0 up to 3.0 for 1 stop, so I'm going to move it up by 1 stop. Then I'm going to use this dial here to dial it in 1.5 stops higher. So when I take the next shot, that vignette shouldn't be so dark around the edges. We should have a really bright hue of orange in the middle. There we go. So that's the difference that stop makes. Much brighter in the middle, but the light is spread out a little bit further around. Can bring Nina back into the studio there, into exactly the same place that she was. We turn our main light back up and we pop it into the same position that we had it before. We don't need to remeter for this light because we know exactly where it is, because it's not moved from before. It's in the same position, so it just needs to be the same power in that beauty position. Angling down. So that means there shouldn't be too much fall off from this light onto the background, because we're not aiming it towards the background, we're sort of aiming it down. And if we can see round on this side here, really, the only bit of light, the light's all coming out here, but the bit of light that's really hitting Nina's face is this edge light here, near like a feathered light source. Should be a nice softer light source onto the face. Looking straight towards me. Just put the spider up on here for me, up on the hand there for me. Nice pose straight in there for me. 3, 2, 1. And let's see how that affects the shot. Oh, beautiful. So now we've got an orange hued backdrop. We can't see the background light there because it's right behind her. And we've got lovely, lovely, lovely lighting just across Nina and coming down onto her face there. If we were to do proper horror lighting though, something a little bit different, something even more demonic, we could maybe take this light right out of the picture here so that it's not doing anything. We'll employ a different second light. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach down to this light down here, little Elinchron 1, quite a handy little light. Dial it in again on the decimal system there. I'm just going to dial it into 2.0 and I'm just going to hold it here with the grip in my hand. We're going to do the same thing with dangling the spider again there for me, but it's got to be really sinister this time for me. And we're going to shoot up and under with our main light. 3, 2, 1, go. And now we're talking horror style lighting. This is lighting that comes from up and underneath. So early Hollywood movies that would try and depict the villain would always shoot them from up and underneath. The sun in nature can't go any lower than the horizon, which means that naturally we can't see faces lit from underneath, because the sun will, once it's gone below the horizon, it's night, so we can't see anything. So in natural world, the sun is always lighting us from either here or above, so that looks natural. The minute we light something from underneath, It looks unnatural because in nature we're not used to seeing it, which means that it looks desperately unnerving. And I've just realised that I'm stood here next to Nina Samuels telling her that she looks unnerving in this picture, which I don't think is a good look for me at all. Let's go for this one more time there for me. It's just a little dark on her face there, so we're just going to turn this light up just a fraction. Dangle the spider down towards me, if we can. That's it, yeah, just in there. 3, 2, and 1. Give me an evil expression as we do it there for me. Now give me an evil Disney villainess laugh. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And the one where we're really looking out into camera there, really demonic and really different. We're going to take this light away now for me because I don't like calling my models like words like unnerving and horrific and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go back to our beauty dish, or our beauty light source, sorry, coming up from above. We're going to turn this light back round here. This is just a sizzle on the steak shot. So we're going away from our orange background, going back to the dark background, remember, because we turned this around and we can turn the power back down to 2.0. And we're going back to our second lighting setup, which had the hair light from behind, orange light coming in from behind there, lighting the hair, and the beauty light just in front. What I've got here from behind, this is our extra little bit of thing. Now you can pick up a smoke machine online for about 20 quid. They'll probably break down after about 4 or 5 uses, as used to happen to me all the time, but you can get them relatively cheaply. I need you to step forward towards me just a little bit. That's lovely, just underneath there. We're going to dangle the spider up nice and high again. That's it, get the fishing wire behind. And this time we're just going to pump a little bit of smoke between the light and between our model. And then I'm going to run around and see if I can get back in time and see what happens when we put the smoke in this gap here, okay? Same expression as before there for me if we can. We're ready to phase. Let's get a little bit of smoke in there, a little bit more, and a little bit more. See if we can set off the smoke alarms in here. I'm going to run round. Looking straight towards me. 3, evil expression there for me. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. What happens then is we get the rim light, but the background light there, which is kicking out orange from the gel behind, is hitting the dry ice or the smoke between the model and the light, and it's lighting it up burnt orange, which is giving us that deep, dastardly Halloween effect. Nina Samuels, I'm very sorry for calling you horrible words during this shoot. The sound of silence is possibly the worst thing I could hear in this moment. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about photography, visit my website, nofussmust.com. We got lots of training content on there that you can get that will take you from everything from a 1 light setup all the way up to a 3 light setup. The benefit of this one is that it really accentuates good features that can be broad lit on that side of the face and makes everything look even bigger than it did under the Rembrandt broad lighting. We'll be adding more content as the weeks go on to that platform for you to learn from. If you have liked the video, give it a like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, say nice things, and be nice to each other. All the very best.